SVŠGL, welcome.
Let's now do like this, that half of us sit here, half of you will be performers. Okay, so it's just a little exercise more and then we will give you some assignments. I like it. Yeah?
Everybody likes the torture the critic.
Yeah. So a little bit introducing the characters. Okay, we're just gonna take a couple of roles, yeah? Like a drunk, you can decide then, yeah, what you're gonna do. A drunk, a prostitute, a child, an elderly person, an officer or some sort of authority. So it's either drunk, child, prostitute, officer or some sort of authority. Let's for now just say this. And this group, yeah, will now do it. You can move, you can speak, you can come to us, choose one character and do it. That's it. That's the instruction.
Characters again?
So it's drunk, prostitute, child, elderly person, officer, or some sort of authority. Okay, go for it. Just choose one, you don't need to say to us, of course, and just start doing it. Very good observation from our side, people. Really observe now. Really observe. You can have contact with us, with them. Really observe from our side. Again, we're going to do it very short. Probably it's going to be hard to develop. Of course, feel free to have contact with the audience. Eye contact. And try to watch it from outside, like you just came in this performance, you have no idea what's their task. You don't know that they are doing these roles. You just see what you see. Try to really be totally empty while watching. Just watching, I have no idea what is this, who is these people, and what kind of characters they are doing. I have no idea.
Good! Good! Good!
So watch out about the areas. For once, how close you came, how fast, introducing the touch. We're still working with the same things, huh? Intimate, personal, social, how fast you move, eye contact, focus. Okay, boom. I'm breaking out. Immediately, cool, very nice. Describe what you saw.
Well, we're telling describing characters.
Just for every individual, did you see, what do you think they were? What was functioning for you, what was not?
I loved your child.
You're a child. You are a child. You're a child. Yes, you're a child.
It was the childlike curiosity, like the what is everything kind of. And it was
describe more concretely what shows you, what it was.
It was the look in her eye, and it was the kind of like floppiness of her posture that made you think, you know, how kids, they can just go from this to like that. It was both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoever.
I saw two oldies. You weren't an oldie.
I don't think she
She
was.
was drunk.
But I really liked the way they sort of got up from the floor. Like really, really slowly and with much difficulty.
And you were also a baby, no? It was nice to see totally different characters of babies or different age, maybe a
I was
little bit.
scared from the drums.
People also comment on what you didn't understand and what you didn't like or what didn't come across. Yeah, no? Huh? Something else?
I don't know, there was not what to be understood. Like in what sense?
I mean, if you would come and watch her in the street, you have no idea, what would you say that she's doing?
Her?
Or anyone of them. You know what I mean?
Well, they were in some zamaknjeno stanje, ako se reče.
Some sort of a state of mind, physicality.
Yeah.
Well, the remote, no?
Remote, yeah.
Remote state.
Yeah, and it was so short, just the baby managed to come closer to the public, otherwise they were a bit in their own world.
Alright. What were you doing?
What do you think? You don't know? Nobody knows?
Well, I think you were a kind of elderly person, but I'm not sure. That was my impression.
Yes. Elderly person, yes.
Yeah. So for me, this is sometimes very scary when the audience is not sure
Yes.
what they are watching. I don't know, for me,
This is not good.
maybe it's good also. If you started from the point that you're doing a piece about that is all the time going to be very floating and confused and maybe it's nice. But did you want to do that? So for me, that's always a question mark. An open on that. Cool. Let's go for it. It's a really short thing. Yeah, I know that we would have to do it much longer than it develops, blah blah. Just to smell it a bit, yeah. So we have drunk, prostitute, old rituals, and official. Go for it. I really observe closely everything.
Come on. That was
Check out what you are doing with other characters and with us. See, this should never happen with an audience. Yeah, I know. There's a thing what can happen with co-performers, but what shouldn't happen with. You can absolutely speak, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Absolutely, you can speak in your language, absolutely. Doesn't matter. Be sure that you observe as many of them as possible. Okay, boom, let's break it. All right, let's talk about what we saw.
I really like those characters that deal with the gaze because they directly put me as the audience inside without having to act anything, which is, the police person who just stands there and is the gaze, right? So you were doing the policeman, you were walking around, but she just stood there and was the gaze. You were watched. I physically, could feel the gaze going. And the prostitute also, there's a trick I've seen in one show, which actually the actress was trying to get people naked with her, imagining that they're naked. So, actually she looks, at people. So, I felt it better than actually acting in relation to other people, just to the audience.
Yeah.
And from what I've felt with Vida and now with John is that the drunk is really cool because not being able to move, to walk brings responsibility from other people, and people have to help. That's really nice. Have to engage.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I mean, I just can't tell about the drunkards because I was somehow magnet for drunkards. But I kind of like it, your approach, because I actually offered help. I said, do you need help? And he said, yes. And then he totally abused me. It was actually very great. I mean, just all of a sudden, he was really making me responsible for what you're saying, and well, in pretty straightforward way, which was actually very nice.
But didn't give you any other choice, really.
Sorry?
He didn't give you any other choice, so you had to engage in.
Actually,
no, it's not. I didn't feel like, because I was the one who was offering help. It's not that
I
he
mean it
attacked me.
in a very positive way, like he.
And then he went. He was not just thank you, but he was really going heavyway, and that was really nice. Yeah,
it was great.
But actually, if you observed, he did give him a physical choice. Yeah, because he was playing a drunk, but he was physically still in a very 0, 1, 2 before. And maybe Guru would just or say no, it would go somewhere else. But then because he said the physicality came up. So it was a choice, I think. What I think with drunks a lot of the times, what I think is very scary is this kind of thing, when I'm watching somebody else perform as a member of audience, and then one drunk comes here, a lot of times at campus, and it's not so fun, because I didn't see you, and maybe I was standing like this, and you bumped into me. This is for me a bit.
No, for me, it really felt like I had the choice, but you were really leading me. It was like that. I wasn't really sure if you are going, what would happen, and that was good. That was actually very great.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of things that I think that on the street are really strong. But what I liked is that there was a relation and an agreement in the beginning. It was not just that he came and...
And how did you feel as an audience to be involved in this?
Well, great.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I think.
Well, I think, one of the beauties for me of the street theater is that the audience is part of the game.
Exactly.
And if you if you can do that, the audience feels like being part of the game. You won half of the prize already.
Yeah, and it is a negotiation because John did fall down, nobody fucked him, right?
Well, that was later on when he was dealing on his own. That was sort of. But also, for me, if I was...
That was a genuine mistake because a drunk should never, ever fall down.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should always be on the edge of falling down. Then you've got a tension with the audience, but if you do go beyond that tension, then it goes into sort of, it takes the audience into another place, which is too fearful.
Right. Well, it's also a bit dangerous.
We went off balance. We couldn't help it. It was natural. It was a real accident rather than a played accident.
On the other hand, you were pretty close to the bumping.
We just lost control of the
Yeah. This is.
But to me it was funny. I mean, I got then a bit afraid for your heads because of the radiator, but it was totally funny, you know. It was like a Charlie Chaplin. It looked really natural, and it can be really useful if you want in a big crowd
I don't think
to direct the focus.
It'd be interesting to see whether Chaplin ever did fall over as drunk. I'm not sure. He might have done, but he probably didn't. He was the most expert drunk in the whole of the tradition of vaudeville.
He did quite a few falls, but he did it in an acrobatical way always, as far as I can.
No, but the thing is that basically that's okay, because the two of them were members of the crew. But if one of them, like if Anya would be the member of the audience, this should never have happened.
It's like bleeding. The audience goes to finish. Game over.
And for me, it's even when we're just doing it in studio and improvisation, you have to, this is my opinion, when a character wants to join some character, when we are rehearsing things, check it why you are doing. Are you completely with no ideas, not succeeding with your character, that's why you're going to come to somebody that your character will become alive and fuck up their thing? You know what I mean? So it's, if I want a contact with you, I have to know what I want, for me. So I'm not just messing your game because I don't have my game.
But I also think this is sort of one of the basic rule of the street theater is because you are inviting somebody to join in your game. But on the same hand, you are also promising him that he'll be safe in your hands, because he gives up many things that he usually has to be safe on the street. So he gives away this, so the one needs to be responsible for that. I mean, this is the basic game. If you invite somebody to join you in the game, in the play, then you are the one who is responsible for them.
One question, what do we need to change when we are doing a character, when we are not ourselves? What do we need to change?
Rhythm?
Okay.
Physical knowledge.
Okay, let's start very basic.
Psychology.
Posture. Okay, posture.
Our central balance.
Energy.
The way we're looking, our attention.
Okay, so let's again start with what's the most basic movement that you do every day? Walking. We need to change the way we walk, the way we run, the way we move, the way we sit down, the way we stop, the way we start, the gestures that our character uses, the mimics, the energy, the breathing, the rhythm, the way of moving, the way of watching, the expression in eyes, something else. Think about it for a minute. The focus.
The way we perceive the world, really.
Yeah, absolutely. How you see things, how are they for you, your relationships, everything. Tone of your voice. Yeah, something else. The way you address people, the way you share space with people. So did you do all of that?
Yeah, but I realize it's super hard. Really, to be totally, and I realize that there are a lot of things what I move that is me, that is not the child. To be the child, I have to cut off the things I know.
It's it's very hard that you really transform into that character, that it's not a little bit switch on, switch off. Because it was very nice with the prostitute. Immediately when the prostitute went to play with other performers, taking the drunk out, you change your walking and running back to you. You forgot that it's her running. So basically, can you come up? So basically you were before nice, I already believed you, la la. Then you took that person and you were like this. You know, me as a prostitute. So for me it would still the blah blah, this kind of blah blah blah. So I'm seeing a lot of the times characters that I believe, but then when some action happens that you need to react, immediately it's dangerous that you forget about certain, because you're so focused, oh shit, now this action happened, how can I solve it, blah, blah, blah. So that you can stay in it. That's why I think you can more analytically approach to changing your character. If you really go through this, okay, first she needs to stand differently, and then she needs to walk differently, and she needs to, I don't know, run differently, and then adding finesses, you know, something else.
Well, can I make a little intermezzo?
Yeah.
When I was saying that John abused me, actually he didn't abuse me in that word, but he used me totally.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that's very nice, that you dare to go for it.
Yeah.
Be careful, do that, I mean, be careful, but go for it. And then.
Yeah,
so it was not abuse, it was use.
So can I ask all of you, did you completely believe yourself, completely to the edge of the knife, completely trust yourself? Were you that person completely?
No.
No.
It was very short.
I know, but okay, like in the end, you know, it's the same as dancing. Like 20 years ago, I needed 2 hours to write something. Now I'm so bipolar because of my profession that I mean I can do so I told you, it's very short, but I think you should really become this person and really trust yourself completely, because usually I see that you go to that role, but then you know you're kind of ashamed or something to go there.
That's one thing somebody told about this, I mean about the performing in general, and I think this is also very, very much true for the street, is that acting on the street is actually daring, so that you dare to do what you want to do. So it's like jumping, I mean, you know, like jumping in the pool, like you want no, well, jump in the pool. I mean, anyway, you'll be wet. Yeah.
No, I don't know. There are many different acting styles, and there are many different acting techniques. So I think if you want to go really into acting, I don't know. You either choose one, try all of them, invent your own. But there are methods that I'm sure a lot of you know, that are same, I think, for street, could be same, some basic, like the body centers, or the this emotional memory, like training Stanislavski and stuff like this, or what's the other, there are also good books about it, a lot of, that can help this swimming.
Did you decide, is your character positive or negative? Did you decide before you did it?
No, I don't know. I didn't think about that at all. I just wanted to put myself totally in the way of looking at the character.
For me now it's more like debating on things. Can all of these characters be positive and negative?
Yes.
Can they all be done?
Yeah. But some people, generally children were positive, and drunks and prostitutes were a bit kinky, darkish.
Yeah.
I just started to feel like elderly, and I was like really annoyed with everybody and didn't want to have people around me. But I didn't know that I would be like this. I just felt like, oh fuck, what is this? What is this? What is this? I didn't want.
But if you don't know that I'm an older person and I'm doing this, look. you say now that I'm an old person? Or would something else cross your
You
mind?
can be also in a very bad mood or whatever.
Or on
Yeah, you're
drugs.
pissed off at someone.
Or like
As
this
a world.
bipolar person in the state of the slow.
So basically, you were doing.
Yeah.
This is what you have to check. Okay, so I'm doing an old person, but actually I look insane. You know what I mean? Who are you truly doing? You know? Or I look pissed, but I'm this age. So this is what I mean, that it's so important to understand the body language, what and the rhythm, what this does. And with drunk, I love the rhythm of movement, because they do the, you know, the drop and the suspense and the cha-cha. It's very funny to people.
It was very interesting to see how many drunks we had and how different they were. And very nice, all of them.
Can you describe the movement capacity of her drunk? What did she change in her movement that was actually very much working already while sitting down?
She changed her balance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
And
she
how?
didn't
Can
have-
you describe it? Can you describe it? Because this we need to understand.
She was constantly losing it, really.
She didn't believe herself that she was actually drunk.
I want analytical, physical things. How did she do it? Not
She
like
started leaning backwards.
yeah, leaning.
Or
Something else.
Was it forward as well?
Yeah.
Leaning. Trying
Did you
to
notice this floating sensation of a torso on her sitting? And this, when your body is way too heavy, and this suspense that always happens, and then this blank staring, but then from blank into while the body is still floating, and then reaching back into some sort of with yourself mimicking, talking. You know what I mean? So I think we need to start describing not only the feelings, but also she was leaning back, front, transporting the weight, blank staring into focus staring, into losing the stare at all, into inside focus, dialogue with herself. These are tools for me, you know what I mean? They have nothing to do with she has a feeling. I think they are complete tools. Huh? Something else? What was with the two officers? We had two very different officers. We already went a little bit there. Can you try to remember them again?
Yeah, one was moving, one was standing. It seems a trivial difference, but it was an important difference.
Yes. How do we feel about that difference? What was working, what was not? How can you describe what they were doing?
But the one that was walking around was also was a little bit, not so...
Can an officer be a girl,
Yeah.
but still have the authority?
Well, I didn't feel the gaze. I didn't feel being controlled. I felt you were more like inspecting, you know, I don't know, the gardening in the street, or you know, maybe that kind of inspector, but not inspecting me.
Yeah.
But she was inspecting me. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah.
So what needs to happen with these authority figures? What needs to happen? Let's share. That you believe them, that you feel good.
Physicality for sure.
Yeah.
The way they go about.
I mean, for me, it's like,
calm, like
It's
I know what
determination.
I'm doing.
I think for me, it has a lot to do with domination of space. And how you come, and how you stand, and how you open this big channel out of you. So for me, the walking is perfect thing. But for me, it's not only how you walk and what kind of body you have, but what you do with space. What you send through space. What I think is scary with the psycho-official authorities is how they are, security policemen, how they come, how their presence occupies the whole thing, how they come with that. And how they completely understand that each my step has an effect on you. This is how they intimidate people, actually. How they turn while gazing at you. What they often hear. So for me, it has to be very weird rhythm, very weird presence, very physically present very. And then they can also have these weird tics, you know, because like some of the most scariest motherfuckers had this very weird something. For me, you could have even more. The gaze was great, but the body I kept on losing it a little bit. Huh? What kind of officials were you? What you had in your head when you were doing it?
I was a security guard or checking out the situation, and if anyone was to start fighting, I would, you know, throw them out or something.
For you, yeah?
Bouncer.
Yeah, basically.
Kind of community officer kind of thing, but not as strict as one. I would have thought. But yeah.
So how did you feel with them? For them, for you, it was negative or positive characters?
Negative.
I didn't understand that he was an officer, but he was interesting to me.
In what kind of way? What? If you wouldn't know.
Because I couldn't be sure what he's. Maybe I also forgot a bit about this role, but I was asking him. It was not clear as a sign. Immediately, like.
Yeah, I would. I would maybe think that he is like, okay, I will show you. I have something new. Or you know, if I wouldn't know that he is a guard, I would say that he's anyway. He wants to be noticed, not that he noticed everybody else.
How can you make security guards? How are they usually? What do we think about security in general, no?
And bomb.
Yeah, if we go totally stereotypes, are they very pleasant Buddhist Zen people? No, what is their function?
Scare you off not doing stupid shit.
Yeah. And if you do stupid shit, what is their function? To kick the crap out of you or something, yeah.
Or tell you to get out.
So, but how can we do them very, very, very funny and very nice to hang with them and very, very exciting for audience members?
Like you said, like have a tick or something.
Something else?
Yeah, or
That jeopardizes the whole.
like simple gags, like a sudden trip while he or she is walking.
Something else?
I don't know, fall in love with a prostitute.
Yeah, could we be actually protecting the audience instead of threatening the audience? You know, that's.
You are there to provide them safety. Absolutely. It's very terrible, but thanks God that I came. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's,
Especially when you do not want to be protected in a funny way.
How can we make a prostitute very positive character? Very positive, that you feel crying for her. That you're like...
And she's charming.
What's negative about prostitute?
Thank you! No, but okay, you know, usually people put it in that group, yeah, she's a whore, yeah? But how can we make it, yeah, if we can make her charming a little bit, and a little else, something else. What we have to bring out in that prostitute? Elegance?
Femininity, sexy.
Yeah. And I would also say all the other roles of a woman. A sister, a daughter, and a mother.
A warm heart, like.
This is what I'm saying. When you do her really badly, so she's really a whore, because she is. But then also bring the mother and the sister and the daughter out, then it kind of can break spectators' hearts.